It is time once again for the weekly closes on our favorite Bitcoin miners. But before we get going, check out the channel memberships. We've got some great stuff going on in there, especially in the stalagmite level. You get the real-time trade posts there, so you see everything I'm doing, when I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. And also member-only videos where I go over those trade setups to talk about some excess things that I don't get around to on the main channel. Go ahead and give us a like, a comment, a share. It helps the channel grow so much. Plus, we're coming to the most important part of the cycle right now. Got to tell everyone, shout it from the rooftops. We'll be doing that. Also, comment right now before we get going, what Bitcoin miners are you holding? Which ones are you watching to get into? Which do you wish you had gotten into? And which ones do you want us to talk about here on the channel going forward as we come towards the end of the cycle? Let us know in the comments what you think. All right, anyways, let's get into it. We're going to start here with CleanSpark. CleanSpark had a bit of a terrible week, honestly, a bit of a terrible week. You've seen here the BX trender shows us that it's been declining in buying pressure for 3 weeks in a row here, and you can see 4 weeks we've been red in a row. So 4 weeks in a row we've been red. So we're kind of due for a green week here pretty soon. But what you'll notice here is the RSI crossed down on the moving average of the RSI here about 2 weeks ago, and since then we've been dumping. We're about to hit the 20-week moving average down here at 965. It's very possible that that could happen. We have gone to the other side of this volume profile hump here. And that's really frustrating. This morning, the warrants were down to under 22 cents for a short period of time, so that would have been a really nice grab, actually. I wish I had had some open orders on that one, but I didn't. I was busy doing other things. That's okay, though. I still have a good amount of my CleanSpark warrants, so I'm not too concerned about that specifically. Anyways, you can see here that we went for 3 weeks into the upper Bollinger Band here, so we've got the regular 2 times Bollinger Band on the lower end here, and on the upper end, the 3 times Bollinger Band, which is something that the price only ever gets into, about 3 to 5% of the time on the upper side, which is not why I'm not surprised that we came back down to the 20 to touch that. It's about the midpoint and then carry on again. We'll see. Hopefully it does carry on again. Earnings were not fantastic. We were down 6% off earnings, and that sucked, even though we had earnings per share were up, but revenue did not quite meet. Okay. Even though Bitcoin was doing a little bit better, yeah, it's doing okay. We'll talk about that in another video. Bitcoin. This is not Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin miners. All right. Anyways. So on CleanSpark, if you watched the volume analysis video that came out yesterday, you can see what I'm looking for on here is the biggest volume bar. In this case, it's this one right here on November 11th on the weekly. And that is going to mark out about $15. So basically, we get above $15. This thing should fly up. Now, there is this volume here. It would have to get above that 15.88, and then it'll have room up to about 17 from there. But that's kind of the area I'm looking for, between $15 and 15.88 for a pop-up to about 17, where it will struggle one more time in this volume over here, and then from there a slide upward as the volume pressure decreases on the sell side as we go higher on CleanSpark. So that's kind of CleanSpark. That's what's going on there. Not a great week. Hopefully, let's see here. Hopefully, so what we're looking for is this blue line. See this blue line right here? We're looking for it to tap that, which is about the 20-week moving average, which is going to be about that 950 level. Once we hit that, I want to see it cross above this orange line here, and that I want to see it fly right up to 15.83 real quick after that. Otherwise, I'm going to be a little bit concerned about CleanSpark. All right, the warrants, you can see it, when CleanSpark went down, the warrants came down. They wicked all the way down to 22 cents. Ended the week up at 32 cents. So that was one of those scary moments where we might see this thing flip around and go up the other way now. We'll see. I might need to pick some of those up actually around this area. We'll see. I'll let you know. The stalagmite crew will get that alert when it happens, and when I'm able to make a video about it, everybody else will hear about it. Yeah, so we came down, we touched the 786. Just went slightly beneath it and then went right back up above the 618. That's the golden pocket area right here. It's still just above that golden pocket area for CleanSpark warrants. Now, I am expecting the global liquidity to start moving up here pretty soon. And if I turn that on, how does it show up on this scale? Terribly. Let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? I don't know. It's not showing up on this chart, so I'm not going to worry about it. Anyways, I'm not going to worry about it on this chart. We're looking at sometime around August like 18th, the global liquidity start spiking back up again. So I'm expecting to see all these things come in and move up from there. You can see that we held the 20-week moving average this week, which is actually really interesting and really good that we managed to do that. Last time we did that after weeking down, we did move up into the 50-cent range. So we'll keep an eye on that for CleanSpark. IREN had a really great week, actually. 19.81% up. They had, I believe, they had some kind of HPC deal, perhaps. Maybe I'm making that up. They did have their monthly report that came out really good for IREN, and that's likely a big reason for that. Now this line, we're getting rid of this line. Boom, that's done. We're above 1587, so we came down to my area where I was expecting, and then went higher. So that's interesting. I don't expect it to go much over 20 too easily unless they get like a big deal. Yeah, that's about it. IREN. I'm probably not interested in IREN right now. It keeps whipsawing around too much for me right now. I can't quite catch a move on it lately. So that's been an issue. Let me get rid of some of this stuff. I don't need all these lines. Let's go ahead. This one, yeah. That one. It'll probably come back to this one in the bear market sometime in like June 2026. Come and hit here at $9. We'll see. Yeah, that's about it for IREN. We're looking for a return to touch this the second angle again, and then from there go higher. For IREN, you can see the VX trender showed a buying pressure came in, RSI is popping up. The volume, ooh boy, look at this. All right, volume, look at this. Biggest volume bar possibly ever on IREN. Yes, biggest volume bar ever on IREN came in on July 22nd. Look at the biggest volume bar ever. We closed the week above it. We closed the week. Oh, no, we didn't. No, we didn't. We're ever so slightly not above it. We need to go 1847. We closed and opened a candle above 1847. We should see IREN do very, very well. Okay, we should see something like another like 20-30% candle if we close above that, which would be going up. Let's see. Yeah, we should be seeing something like, you know, a $24 IREN if we can close above that 1850 level there on IREN. Keep an eye on that. We get that. That's going to be very, very nice for IREN. Pay attention. I think we're also, this might also be the first time we're getting closures above this. Let me take a look. Give me a second. Nah. Yeah, but it is the first time we were getting closures above this highest level from before. Well, the highest high since, you know, the previous run. So this is actually opening the door. As long as we can, if we get a closure above 2030, above 2031, we're going to go to 23. We get above 23, we could open up to 34. So pay attention to that on IREN. That's going to be actually really interesting and some useful knowledge there. So yeah, next week we open and close and stay above 1584. We might just be bouncing around between 20 and 15 for a while. That'll be pretty interesting for IREN. So IREN's looking pretty good. Remember, IREN leads both to the upside and the downside. So it came down for a bit first before the others, and now it's going up before the others. So by the time the others are turning around and coming up, IREN will probably be making its way back down. Keep your eye, keep yourself aware of that. Mara, where is my volume profile? There it is. Okay, Mara. Turn off the drawings for a second. There's too many of them. Okay, let me turn off this one too. Okay, Mara. Whew, what's going on with Mara? All right, we got this up move that came back down. All right, we hit the 20-week, just like with many others. Buying pressure has been weakening for 3 weeks in a row, just like CleanSpark has got 4 weeks of selling pressure. RSI, this looks exactly like the CleanSpark setup, except for once Mara gets above $19, $20, there's really a lot less selling volume up here where it's going to hit like 24 and maybe struggle a little bit. But once it's above that 25, 26, there's really nothing in the way up till like 33, 34. What we really want to see is, let's find the biggest, nastiest volume candle right there. We want to see a closure above 24.78 right there. We want to see that. That should give us the opportunity to fly a lot higher once we get all of that selling pressure out of the way from that 24.78, from that biggest volume candle here that we haven't quite ever conquered. I don't think we ever, did we ever, we've closed one candle above it before right here, which was November 2024, and then it immediately failed and came all the way to the bottom. So watch out for that. That is a tricky thing. Well, no, actually we didn't. We didn't, because the wick touched it. Look, see how that wick touched the body for it? Yeah. So we did never close. We never actually got an air gap from it. We never had a candle open and close and stay above it the entire time. So no, we haven't gotten one yet. And that's probably why you would say we got that reversal. And go watch that volume analysis video after this one to get all the information about that because it's too long to tell it over and over again. Okay. Same, yeah. So Mara could bounce off the 20. I'd be looking for, yeah, it could bounce here. This is an area I'd look for it to bounce. It crosses this line. I'd be looking for it to come up to at least 1868, possibly go higher up to 2122 in the next couple weeks, and then through September. I'm expecting it by the time September is over to hit this $24-25 level for Mara. That's my expectation. I will be looking to enter Mara up here pretty soon. Riot. For the weekly, look at that. It came all the way down to the trend line and it nearly touched it, started to bounce. That's not bad. The only issue I'm seeing right now is, one, is this the biggest volume candle it's ever had? Is this the biggest volume candle it has ever had? Get everything out of the way. Yes. Yes, it is. The biggest volume candle it has ever had was back here on July 21st, okay? And what did we do? We closed handily beneath it and got a full candle closure beneath it. That makes me worried about IREN. That makes me worried about Riot. So it could bounce here. If it does not bounce here, I'd expect this line to break and I'd expect price to find its way all the way back down to about 850. Okay, especially since this is a do or die moment right here at the equilibrium on the weekly volume profile. We get beneath that. Look at this volume. Just do. We have a whole it just starts getting easier and easier to slide further and further down on that profile there, which could take us honestly ultimately all the way back down to $6. So I'm watching that on Riot. That is potential. That is possible, especially after that run up. IREN had a run up from the bottom here. We went from the bottom to the top. It was 147%, and then now it's, yeah, that tends to be where how far it goes before it comes all the way back to baseline. So watch it for Riot. It could happen in a day or two, honestly, with how these things move. So pay attention to that. Now, if we bounce off this, yeah, we could be coming back to test this area up here about $14. So IREN, I keep saying IREN. Riot's kind of no man's land right now. Let's take a look at CIFR. How's CIFR doing? CIFR, same sort of thing, right? Was this the biggest volume ever? Biggest volume ever came in on June 30th for CIFR. And of course, we have not closed beneath that yet. So this one could continue to come all the way down to 433 and still be fairly bullish on that. Still be fairly bullish all the way down to that 434, 433 area, which is this little volume shelf here. You can see this little one right here on the volume profile. And I wouldn't be surprised if we came down and touched that. Now, we did bounce off the 50-week moving average, so this might be as far down as we go. But we do need to get back up and above, conquer 561, and then once we're above that, we got to conquer 620. Otherwise, we will continue to do this move where we bounce off this line, go up, bounce off this line, and then finally find ourselves break free in November, possibly. So watch for that, CIFR. And then as far as the warrants go for CIFR, same sort of scenario. It keeps bouncing off this line here. And look, last time it came up to this volume shelf, boom, sold off. So we really need to see it hit this line, bounce, and then I'd be looking to sell around 146, 145, 146, maybe even as low as 140 to take my profit on that. But 68 cents to 140 is that's a double up. So I mean, I wouldn't be mad about that. And then if it manages to slice above that, above 151, well, then we're looking at, is this the biggest volume that it's ever had? It is not. Biggest volume it's ever had is back here, which is all the way up at 160. And if you look, it's got a few candles above it, but they were all very weak looking on the way back down. Yeah, that's the warrants for you on CIFR. Let's take a look at CORZ. How's CORZ looking? We had an up 13.91% week. Not bad. Kind of an engulfing candle. We almost got through the button. So we've been having inside bars on this candle right here from July 7th for 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. We get outside of this candle, whichever way we get outside of this candle here from July 7th, we're going to explode. So if we get above it, we're going to go all the way up to like $17. If we get below it, we're going to come all the way down to about 11, maybe even as low as $9. So volume is coming back in here a bit. Buying pressure is coming in. RSI is coming in. I like this. Core weave is also looking pretty good. So right now, so I am expecting CORZ to make a move up into this Bollinger Band cloud up here, potentially even as high as $20 over time. Here in September, potentially. I'm not too concerned about this. I actually like this chart a lot. Warrants, same thing with the warrants. Yeah, same thing. Let's take a look at HUT. HUT is another one I'm looking to take a position on. So HUT's been down 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, just coming all the way down to the bottom of this ascending channel. We've got the BX trenders looks bad, the RSI looks bad. However, we do have a volume shelf down here at 1738 that could catch us. We don't have any like really intense volume or anything anywhere. Yeah, HUT's been pretty measured with the volume, nothing too crazy. But basically, I want to see it hit the bottom of this channel and bounce. If it doesn't bounce, I'm looking at 1750-ish for it to get caught and then to break this line from below and then go to the top of the channel, be something like $24, $25, and then potentially maybe even break out of that and touch the top of this mega ascending channel, which is right here, this mega ascending channel right there, which would be all the way up to about $28 on HUT. So I'm watching that real close. I'm looking for that entry. Much like with MAR, I'm just kind of waiting to pull that trigger. WULF. WULF is, let's see, how's WULF doing? They were up 5.67% this week. They are right at the equilibrium of, they're trapped between the equilibrium on the weekly volume profile and the 200 week moving average at 486. We're kind of hanging out near the top here. So WULF is looking a little concerning. It's looking a little bit toppy. Now it can push into that Bollinger Band cloud there and push up through it. It can. It's done it before. But I think the risk to reward is a bit leaning more towards the bearish side on this one, just because we're at that equilibrium on the weekly volume profile. We've got the 200 week moving average looking like it's about ready to cross beneath the well, actually that's not bad. The 50 week, that's not bad. 50 week coming up is good, but the fact that the 200 week is right there, like, oof, I'm a little concerned. I would want to see WULF get up and above 558 before I'd be interested in it. But to the downside, we could get caught here at 428, which would also be the bottom of this ascending channel here. And on the way up, we could go easily as high as 643 before we hit the highest volume bar on here. Actually, the highest volume bar on here at 553. Sorry, 553. Yeah, the highest negative volume bar at 550, 553. Yeah. And then from there, we've got the next big bar to conquer at 646, where we'll hit some resistance as we get into this upper part of WULF. Let's take a look at HIVE. How's HIVE doing? HIVE's another one I'm interested in taking a position in. The largest selling volume bar is right next to us. We just got to get above 232, and then this thing can move up towards the top of this ascending channel here, which would be about 261, which would coincide with the 50-week moving average and the top Bollinger Band there on the 3 multiplier. Now, I do think that it could come up as high as 312 and hit that, and it might even go higher than that. We'll see. But the BX trender looks terrible. The RSI is kind of trending upwards, so I'm not too, like, it's mixed signal. It's a mixed signal here. The fact that did we close the candle completely detached from this one right here? No, we did not. It came up and like touched it just barely, didn't it? Or did it? Let me look. No, we're completely detached down here. So this could come down to the bottom here. It could come down to about 189 before it carries on up. So I'm watching it. I'm looking for it to break this orange line right here. And then to come up to about 260 to 270 before I'm feeling pretty cautious about it again. And if it can slice right through that, well, then I'm looking for eventually sometime in September a touch of this yellow descending trend line up here around 475. That's what I'm looking for on HIVE. To the downside, again, that 20-week moving average at 189, and that potentially all the way down to 137. Let's take a look at BitDR. How's BitDR doing? Let's take a look here. BitDR is up 3.8% today. It's coming into like another falling wedge here, but we are beneath the equilibrium on the weekly. There's a bit of a volume pocket here on the right. You can see this volume pocket here. We might come to about 1050 on BitDR. That's very possible, but we are in this ascending channel right here, and we are at the very bottom of that ascending channel, so we could find ourselves coming up at least to the middle point of that, and then coming back, maybe testing this from above again at 1330, and then carrying on from there. We might get something like that this time. We'll see. But to the upside, if we can break up to the upside, if we can get up to the upside, let's see, do we ever break out one? We could see it go as high as about 18, maybe $19. And to the downside, we're getting squeezed here, so we might hang out here for a little while. I don't see, like, downside risk is really about 1054 on the low end. And to the high end, it's about $19. So we're looking for possibly a like $2.50 or $2 drop versus like a $5 climb or $8 to $7 climb. Sorry, not 5.7. Ha, math. BX trender has been really flat and gross and all over the place for weeks now. I wouldn't touch this just because of like the technicals look kind of terrible in terms of volume. Volume has been falling off a cliff for a while. The BX trenders barely registering here on there, and the RSI's been flat for weeks. So I'm not too interested in BTDR, honestly, here. This is kind of like showing me that interest is being completely lost in this thing. BMNR is not a Bitcoin miner, but it's on my list now, and I've been running cash secured puts on this the last couple of days, making quite a lot of money on this. I am enjoying this one quite a lot. I'd like to see it come back up to about that $100 mark, but I'd settle for 80. Honestly, that'd be pretty great. This thing, yeah, buying pressure is coming in. RSI is pointing up, crossed up today, this week here. That's pretty good. Volumes coming in beautifully, huge volume. Yeah. This is crazy high risk though. The BMNR. This thing's all over the place. This thing is a bucking bull. Okay, let's take a look at. Let's see. What about Bitfarms? How's Bitfarms doing? Still above the neckline on that double bottom. Still above that neckline on the double bottom. Still holding it, which is why I'm still holding it. I am looking for this double bottom to play out and at least take me up to 170, potentially even as high as $2. That's what I'm looking for on that. That would be great. That would be really good for me. Personally, the buying pressure has been coming in for weeks now. The RSI is exploding upward. We are in a pocket on the volume profile here on the right. You can see it. We're in the pocket. We're inside the pocket, just barely. And that pocket goes all the way up to 171, 172. And then it comes to another little pocket, goes up to about 195. And then we fight our way up to about 217 from there for Bitfarms. But Bitfarms is starting to get a little bit of attention. So I've been holding it for that. It's a bit of a gamble play. It's a much smaller position for me. I'm not going to make a whole lot of money off of it if I win on that, but I am looking for it to at least come to the top of this descending channel here, which is about 190, 194 for Bitfarms to the downside. Basically anything beneath $1.06, and we come all the way back down to about 70 cents. So watch that too for Bitfarms. Let's see, is Can doing anything? Can, not really. Can's not doing anything. It's getting a little bit of buy pressure, a little bit of excitement, but nothing too interesting here. Honestly, I just don't even know what to make of this at some point. So it's gonna do this. I wouldn't be surprised if it did like this motion like it did back here in July for a couple of months until, you know, October, like last year, just like last year where we got like this nothing movement all summer, and then October, November just was wow. That's what I'm thinking for Can. So I'm thinking that we're going to continue to get, and let me get rid of these lines because these lines don't matter. This line doesn't matter. This line doesn't matter. This line, what is this line? This line doesn't matter. Okay, all that is gone. I'm looking for Can to probably do something like this, where it's like this, and it's just kind of like screwing around, and then October 20th or so, it just goes all the way up to, you know, maybe $3 from there. That's what I'm looking for on Can. And I don't really like, just like last year where we got like no summer run really, like almost none at all. And then suddenly at the end of the year, the tail end, it just popped up to $3. And it's done that a couple times now. So yeah, it's done that a few times. The last 2 years it's in a row it's done that, where it's did absolutely nothing through summer through October, and then late October, November, it comes alive and goes up 300%. So that's what I'm looking for Can, and I'll be waiting for that on Can. We're not going to do BitDigital. BitDigital does not do Bitcoin mining so much anymore, and they don't do AI anymore either. They're just Ethereum. I know I talked about BMNR, but yeah, I'm not going to go over to BitDigital anymore here because that's done, as far as I'm concerned. Unless you really want to hear about BitDigital, in which case I'll talk about it, but let me know in the comments. Which of the miners are you holding right now, or which are you watching right now? Let us know in the comments. We are going to be following these through the end of the cycle here pretty soon. It's going to be ending, and then we probably won't touch them with a 10-foot pole for a while. And then we'll go back and look at them again. Things are going to change on the channel with that, okay? I'm going to be getting much more defensive. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the income machine and making money with that. I've been perfecting that. I've been doing very well with that in the members section. So if you want to see how we are managing the post-Bitcoin trade, that is already happening in the members section under the stalagmite level. So go ahead and get in there. That's all I've got for you today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share this video. That helps so much to grow the channel, and we really need to grow. Check out the channel memberships. You get the most bang for your buck out of that stalagmite level, where you get the real-time trade posts and the members-only videos. But in the other levels, you get badges, you get emojis, you get early access to videos, you get shout-outs, all that stuff in there as well. Check those out too. Gets a couple of fun emojis there. Anyways, with that said, have a profitable day.